Chili, a hearty and flavorful dish, can be made with many different types of meat, from ground beef to steak to chicken, even can be purely vegetarian. It also will be made with many types of beans, from garbanzo beans to more traditional kidney beans or to even black-eyed peas. It can be a meal or it can be a tasty treat. Today we have two guests here, Scott and Heather, who are the organizers of the International Chili Society Cook-Off that happened here in Palm Coast over the weekend. But before we get into a conversation with them, why don't we go and take a look at how my experience was at this cook-off, and then come on back here and have a conversation on how they actually put together this annual tradition. Welcome to the International Chili Cook-Off, Palm Coast 2024. Man, this place smells like chili heaven. Bet that one's gonna kick like a mule. Might be worth the risk. This is like a chili tour of the Southwest. 1 minute and you're in New Mexico, and the next, Mana Beach in Hawaii. Culinary teleportation, gotta love it. Chili, music, and sunshine. Doesn't get better than that. Look at that. Ghost pepper madness. Who's brave enough for that? Spicy, smoky, with just the right kick. Whoever made this knows their stuff. Wow, this is what a weekend should taste like. And what is it? Is that a pepper?
Okay, these are a bowl of peppers that we grow at our home.
Yep.
And I love growing hot peppers. So the mildest is this jalapeno that has almost turned red.
That looks the meanest.
Yeah, and it's actually the mildest of everything in here.
Okay.
These are cayenne peppers, and those are pretty spicy, as you can see on the Scoville scale list. You can see where certain peppers hit, and these are orange habanero peppers, definitely hotter than the cayenne. And then the hottest ones in here are these golden ones,
Which look
they look like they would be the mildest.
Yeah.
They are by far
This
the
one right here,
hottest.
that one right there.
Yes, all of these light ones are actually a new strain that I started growing, and they are golden Carolina Reapers. Carolina Reapers typically look like this. They're very, very red. But I bought some plants of the Golden Reaper strain, and they came out great. And so Carolina Reapers currently are the second world's hottest pepper. And yeah, if you would like to try one.
No. All right, so your name is?
Larry Welter Cole.
And you are here. I heard you started this whole thing.
I started it with Heather Thompson, yes.
How long ago?
8 years ago.
And have you entered, had chili net the whole time?
Yes.
And I heard yesterday you won some.
I won a second in the red and a second in the verde.
All right, so what's your name?
Chuck McCrory.
Where are you from?
Texas, Fort Worth, Texas.
Did you come all the way here from Texas?
Yes, sir.
Drive, flew, how'd you get here?
We drove.
And you brought all this stuff with you?
Yep. We come in our car, and we laid over in Mobile, Alabama, and then drove out here the rest of the way.
The word on the street is that you won yesterday.
Yeah.
Which one?
Banner, home style.
Oh, there's the banner. All right. So your name?
John,
Where are you from?
Kennesaw, Georgia.
Did you travel all the way up? Down here, I should say?
Yeah, it was about a 7-hour drive.
Okay, is this your first time here?
No, we've been here all 8 years. The chili cook-off's been
so
here.
Is this the 8th or the 9th then?
I understand it's the 8th year.
Okay. And you won yesterday's.
Yes, in the verde.
Okay. And are you currently cooking it right now?
Yes.
Are you entering it again?
Yes.
Why would you enter it 2 days in a row if you already won it?
Why not?
All right. Are you changing it at all?
Yeah, this is a little bit different. I'm going to tweak it today.
Okay. So your name
Jim Solsona.
and where you from?
We live in the Atlanta metro area, but I'm actually Puerto Rican, so I'm from Puerto Rico. But I've lived in the Atlanta area since '75.
Did you travel here from Atlanta?
Yes, we did.
Okay, and do you do it every year?
We do.
No, the reason I asked that is because I knew the answer because you had first place last year for People's Choice. 2023, right? That's a sign up there.
Yes, I think you're right.
Yeah,
I think you're right.
Yeah, and then
It's hard to keep up.
I know. And then I believe yesterday you won second place for
We
People's
did.
Choice.
We did.
What are you winning for? Which type?
The one that we're usually most successful in is home style, but we
Which
also
is the one
do
with the beans?
with the beans.
All right.
But we also do traditional red.
Yep.
Now, for People's Choice, it has to be a home style because People's Choice actually requires beans. The ICS rules say your People's Choice has to have beans in it.
Okay.
So okay. No
Now, have you
problem.
gotten close at all with the judged categories,
Well,
like second place or third place?
yes, but not necessarily here.
Okay.
But in other competitions, yes.
Your name again?
Mike Powers.
And this is your first time here.
Fifth time.
here. Okay.
Yep.
And what did you enter? Yesterday?
We did all divisions today.
Okay,
so-
but yesterday you won the veggie.
We won veggie yesterday and third and verde.
And where are you from?
Fort Lauderdale.
Okay, so you traveled. Oh, that's not that far. I've heard people over there from Texas.
It's still 6 hours. It's a long drive.
Okay, so give me your name.
My name is Jonathan Everett.
And where are you from?
I'm originally from Yonkers, New York, and then Mount Kisco, New York, and now I'm Bonita Springs, Florida.
And so,
Since 2019.
okay, so did you come here specifically from New York for this cook?
No, I live in Bonita. I live in South Florida, by Naples.
Oh, okay. So how far from here?
It's a 5-hour cut.
Okay. And did you say I didn't hear it? Yes, every year.
Yes, I've been here. It's my 4th year here.
Oh.
So I've been in the kind of like the circuit for South Florida, and prior to that, I cooked in the Northeast. I've been New York State champion, New Jersey State champion, Connecticut State champion, Massachusetts State champion. Been all in New Jersey State, New Jersey too. I've cooked all over, and I was a family giant season ticket holder for 55 years.
Okay. So and I don't. Not to diminish any of that, but you won yesterday.
Yes, I
for
did.
the red.
Yes, I did for the red. Yes.
And
Yes.
what? Any special reason why?
No, I got lucky with the judges.
And how many?
I got beat out on the tiebreaker on both of them.
Oh, okay. And then you got beat out by the judges.
Yes, they had a tiebreaker. 2 of us had the same points, and they brought in 2 more judges to judge him, and the other guy beat me on the tiebreaker.
Okay, so I hear there's 4 categories, correct?
Yes, chili verde, red, home style, and the veggie.
Now the red is just all meat, right?
All meat, no beans.
Verde is now I know people are using pork. Some
Pork.
people are using chicken.
Some people use chicken. Yes,
And why did they call it verde?
it's a green enchilada sauce for the
Okay,
starter.
all right. And obviously it's not red. It's kind
It's
of
not
like,
red.
It's kind of like a whitish color.
Whitish color. Yeah, we can open the top
Veggie
here.
is self-explanatory.
It's verde.
And then the red, verde, veggie, and the last one is home style.
Home style.
Now, what defines home style?
Okay, home style, that's anything that you can use anything in it, but that has to have beans in it.
Okay. Now, for the competition, does it have to be kidney beans? Can it be black beans or any
Black
bean?
beans,
Anything you
we
want.
use Bush's beans, so we prefer Bush's beans because they are a big sponsor of ours.
Now, are there any spices that you're not allowed to use, or you can use just whatever you want?
Just whatever you want.
Okay. Hey, so show us what you're doing here. Give
Okay, right here now is the veggie chili.
Now, are you entering any of those today? In any of the
Yes, I'm entering all 4 today again.
Okay.
Yeah. And this is the chili verde,
That's a verde. That's the veggie.
veggie,
And you're going to over there.
and this is my red, starting my red.
That's good. Okay. And the red can't have any beans in it.
That cannot have beans in it.
Okay. And then what also I'm noticing, you got some stock here.
Yeah, this is chicken broth.
Now,
We use chicken broth
In the verde.
In the verde,
Okay.
and I use it also in my red.
Oh, I would think you'd using maybe like a beef broth. or
Well, I
something
put
like
a little bit of beef broth with it.
that. Oh, wonderful.
I seem to have better luck with just using mostly chicken broth.
You're giving away your secrets.
Well,
But is everybody doing kind of the same thing?
everybody pretty much on the same
Okay.
spices and everything. But here's the thing, there's a difference. We could put 4 people with the same recipe
and every one of them would taste different.
Yeah.
The weather has a lot to do with it, because if the humidity is high, you have to use a lot of liquid, or else it'll.
And also, I'm
chunk up.
noticing that a lot of people are cooking it. Like some people are ready now.
Right.
They started cooking at the very same time. So
Yes.
people are cooking them at different times. Like one person will take an hour, the other person will take 2 hours.
Yeah, well, everybody, you get a 3-hour cooking time, but your veggie you can usually get done in an hour, because the veggies are, they're soft and everything, and you use impossible meat in the veggie. It's vegetarian chili.
Yeah, right. And also, some people's red, which is all meat. Some people cook it differently. It only takes 2 hours, and some people will take the whole 3 hours.
Right.
So there's a difference in how you cook it.
There's a difference. I usually do mine nice and slow, just a few, maybe 10 bubbles, 10 small bubbles. That's what I usually judge and that's about 3 hours. That's about a 3-hour cooking time.
Okay.
But burger doesn't take as long as tri-tip. I use a tri-tip sirloin in my red, and that's cube meat. That's cube.
So in your red, you're not using the regular, I forget what ground beef.
Ground beef, no.
Okay.
But today I am using it because I am already qualified to go to the World Championship in 2025.
So you're just mixing it up a little bit.
I'm just mixing it up,
Okay,
and I'm not, because my tri-tip cost me $13.99 for a pound, where I can get this for $4.99.
Right.
So,
And then in whatever ground beef you're using, there's like different fat percentages or lean,
Yes,
like 85,
80, 20,
So are you
usually.
trying to stick in the 80s?
80s.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Have you been here before?
This is my first time here.
What about other chili competitions?
We've cooked in 12 different states.
Have you ever won first place?
2018, I'm world champion Verde.
Okay, all right. And this is again the home style, right?
Yes.
And what do you got cooking today?
All three: Verde, home style, and red.
And are you going to enter any of those for the judging today?
Yes. Already turned in my home style. I'm working on my Verde right now.
Now, why would you turn in your home style when you already won it yesterday?
Well, when you drive 16 hours,
Okay,
so
gotcha.
here, dude.
And with the home style that you're turning in, could you change a little bit? Because what do you have to lose? You already won yesterday's. You're already going on.
I make the same everywhere I go.
Okay.
So pretty much the same thing.
How do you feel about the Verde?
The Verde is what I'm shooting for, but I've been having a little trouble with Verde, so been a slump, so to speak. So hopefully I win.
We've been talking to some people, and most of them are using pork.
Yes.
Some people will pork. They say chicken is a little more challenging because it dries out.
Yeah, I got pork.
And so when you said you're in a slump, what's the problem?
Well, I don't know. I'm getting a lot of thirds and seconds and fourths and stuff like that. Not the first.
Do you have like a restaurant or something that you serve this at that you get feedback from?
No.
This is just kind of doing it on your own?
Yeah, this is our hobby right here.
All right. Also, with respect to the spices, most people are using many forms of chili powder. They're throwing cumin in there. Is there anything that you could say that you'd probably definitely need in a chili?
Well, cumin in all chili, green chili and red chili has cumin in it. It's what gives it that different flavor. And then when you're cooking red chilies, you use red spices, and when you're cooking green, you use green spices.
Do you use like anything to thicken it up towards the end, like any flour or maize or anything?
Only if it's too thin, and I do put some mesa flour in there.
Anything else? I don't want to give away your special ingredients.
No, there ain't really no special ingredients. People think it's just it's the luck of the draw, man.
All right.
It's like a crapshoot.
Well,
really.
good luck today. I hope you. Oh, actually, can I take a look at inside one of those pots? Hey, and also, does the cookware play any role in this?
Well, yeah, it does. I use 2 or 3 different
people
sizes.
are using stainless steel. Here you got different.
This is that's for our people's choice. We have to have 2 gallons, so this pot I hold the 2 gallons.
Yeah.
And I cook in these pots also. We use these a lot because when we're traveling, when we fly,
yeah,
we can stack those in our suitcase when we fly.
Okay. And
So-
you're just using these regular Coleman stoves with
Yes.
the propane,
Yes.
and you get enough heat from this to get it done.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, all right. And one more thing, you said this already. You were the winner of 2018 what?
Chili Verde. It's on the front.
Oh, he's got it. All right, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's on the front.
All right, well, wonderful. Thank you for talking to us. Thank you for giving us your time. What do you normally have in it?
Well, we're going to have, of course, the usual suspects, the green peppers, the onions, and stuff like that. But I'm using a little bit more Verde sauce in it.
But it's pork based.
Yes, it's pork based.
Okay, do you mix it with chicken or anything
No,
else?
I
besides
don't,
pork?
but some cooks do. They'll use chicken, pork.
Okay, and so what makes Verde as opposed to a red sauce?
Well, it's the green peppers. You only use green peppers. You can be, in some competitions, be dinged if they see any red flakes or anything in it from the red pepper. But a green pepper, as it matures, it will turn red.
And the spices?
Spices, we're using jalapeno powder. We're using different type of like Big Jim peppers, New Mexico type peppers that we get,
Okay.
and it's a powder.
And how can we see it real quick?
Sure, come on in.
And so from start to finish, what does it take?
3 hours.
Okay.
3 hours on site only.
That seems to be the average. I've asked people the same thing. Anywhere from 2.5 to 3 hours.
Right.
Okay. Well, good luck.
Thank you.
And I'll let you get back to your customers.
Thank you, sir.
Do you mind if we take a look at what you're cooking over?
Absolutely. Yeah, like right now, this is traditional red that I'm cooking right here.
No beans.
No beans.
And what type of meat are you using?
This is beef tri-tip,
okay.
which is essentially the beef that virtually every world champion has used for traditional red over the last several decades. They all use beef tri-tip because it's a fabulous cut of meat that cooks properly in the time frame that you have, which is only 3 hours. You know, from the time that you start cooking to the time that you turn it in, it's only 3 hours. So it has to cook properly, tenderly, without being overcooked or undercooked in that time frame.
Yep.
And it's just the most fabulous piece of beef. If you're doing beef, you don't have to. You could do pork. I don't know.
You do turkey. You do
No,
chicken.
No. The problem with turkey is it doesn't have enough flavor.
Yeah.
So you would have to inject flavor into turkey. I actually used to use ground turkey at one point, not for competition, but when I made chili at home, and it just didn't have the flavor.
It sounds like the cuts that I have a bit more fat in them are more forgiving.
Yes, and
It's harder to dry
you
out.
want that marbling in there, but not too much fat. And like I say, it's got to be something that cooks in just the right time frame. And beef tri-tip is fantastic for chili competitions for that.
Okay, well, and I don't remember, but you said what did you put in for this one today? For the judging?
Well, in judging, we at 11 o'clock we turned in home style.
Okay.
Which for me is essentially my red, but
With
I
beans.
added a couple of beans to it. And then for red, obviously, it's basically the same, but just without beans.
Okay, well, good luck.
Thank
And
you.
thanks for
I
talking to
appreciate
us.
it. Thank you.
All right. So what makes your veggie special?
Love.
You got to give us more than that.
The trick with veggie is trying to get it to where it's actually chili. It's not vegetable soup. It's working with the chili powders and stuff to get it just right and get the consistency.
And I tried a second ago, and I saw everything in there from garbanzo beans to
Yep.
chickpeas.
Chickpeas, some black beans, some corn, a little bit of
And
this.
you said you put morning sausage in there?
So Morningstar makes a vegan version of sausage.
Mhm.
They make a breakfast patty. I like the spicy one. So yeah, there's 8 of the patties in there ground up.
Okay. And today you're also going to enter something you didn't yesterday, or did you do all four?
No, I did all 4 yesterday. I'm doing all 4 again today.
And did you change any of the recipes that you're going to put in today?
I tweaked my red, my verde, and my home style because they were off just a little bit yesterday. With the cooler temperatures, things went a little different. I mean, I didn't get bad votes, but again, all the cooks here were trying to qualify for the World Championship. The only way you can cook at the Worlds is you have to qualify into a state or regional event. So at the Worlds, you probably got 300 plus of the best cooks in the world. The only way you're there cooking is you have won your way in. So everybody here is kind of bidding for that championship golden ticket to get there next year.
Okay, that's the one you talk about in Vegas in September.
They don't know where it's going to be this year. That's one talk. I heard Indianapolis, or we could be back in Myrtle Beach this year.
Oh, okay, and that's the 20 grand one.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, can we take a look at some of the things you're
Surely.
cooking here?
Yep.
Now, which one is the Verde? I want to see that one.
The Verde's right here.
And that again is a pork
It's
base.
pork tenderloin, green chilies, green enchilada sauce, some other green powders. It's basically all green. And then, of course, the pork tenderloin, a little bit of ground sausage.
Mhm.
This is the veggie you were just talking about.
That's actually, and you, like we said when I was trying it, it tastes like there's meat in there.
Correct. Yeah, that's the whole idea of trying to get, like I said, not to be like vegetable soup.
Right, and that's one, even if you're a meat eater,
You
you'd
would
be fine with.
Most people, we don't tell them it's veggie and we give it to them.
Right.
Then after they're done, like, man, this is good. Yeah, there's no meat in it. They're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
So
it's that
again,
good.
that's the trick.
Right. Do you expect to do any better with any other ones?
I'll
today?
win all 4 of them today.
Okay.
I'm greedy.
All right. Good luck then.
Thank you. Appreciate
Thanks for
it.
letting us talk.
There were in this competition. There's a tremendous amount of good cooks. There are 3 former world champions here.
Yeah.
So, and then a lot of the other cooks have won numerous contests, and so very, very, I got very lucky, and I got a couple first place votes, and then it looked like all the other votes kind of went dispersed amongst everyone else, and my point total came on top.
Is there anything that you're doing different?
Not
than
really,
they?
no.
I use the same meat.
Same. I use a chuck. A lot of people use I use chuck. A lot of people use tri-tip. Which is a little different.
Right. Now I saw somebody over there using sirloin.
Yeah, it's a little too lean, a little too dry. You want something with a little more fat in it.
Yeah.
I'm a chef by profession, so kind of.
Now, if you're using the chuck, are you using the 85?
No, when I say chuck, the chuck is the shoulder of the animal.
Oh, that's right.
So I'm taking from the shoulder. I break down you can buy a chuck roast, and I break down the chuck roast.
Okay. And are you entering anything today?
Yes, I'm in the vegetarian, home style, and green, which are the last 3 categories.
Okay.
And
Now, did you also enter your red again today?
No, I didn't, because had they been short cooks, I would have entered. But they had enough cooks cooking red, so I didn't have to. And I don't want to take it away from somebody else.
Yeah, that makes sense. Do you mind if we take a look?
By all means.
Cooking here.
By all means. So now for the home style, it can be any chili, as long as it has beans in it. So I did home style with green with beans. So I did a green
And
home
are
style.
those kidney beans in there?
Those are cannellini beans. It's
Okay.
very simple.
And this is which one?
This is my chili I made at home, which is what you call your People's Choice chili.
Okay.
So while you're cooking your chilies, you pass that out for taste.
And this is the Verde,
The
right?
Verde, which is all pork.
All pork with the beans.
Yes.
And this is what you're doing for the People's Choice.
That's correct, which I use hamburger ground beef.
Okay. And what's going on
This
here?
is I have a green chili, which is basically the same chili but no beans.
Okay.
So green spices and green vegetables.
So are you hopeful today with respect
I
to your
think
Verde?
I like my Verde and I like my home style, so I'm very pleased with it.
Okay.
I was pleased yesterday too, but they didn't do anything.
Well, you won. You
I
can't be doing
I
it.
won the red, yes.
All right. Well, thank you very
Thank
much.
you, appreciate it.
Thanks for talking to us, and
Thank
good luck. Let's taste some chili.
Here we go, baby. Got some Chicago love for you, my man.
Guess what? Brought my own.
Ooh, you got
And I got my blue.
You got the bracelet?
Yeah.
Wait a second. Okay.
Yeah, it was 15 bucks. I get to eat as much as I want.
Why does it say Toys R Us on it? All right, brother. There we go. Get in that.
Hey, so what's in this? Come on.
So basically, this is based on a
What's
Chicago
drugs?
style Italian beef sandwich. All right, we got a little bit of riffling in there. I mean, we got some black-eyed peas. That's gonna freak some people out. They're not used to that.
That's
You got
what
some
makes
mild
it taste.
peppers. Yeah.
That nobody else is doing that.
Nah, no one's doing that, dude. And no one's using our au jus. We got the same au jus from the sandwich.
That's what makes
Get in there, baby. Look at this. Look, give it a little mix. It's hiding. You gotta pull it out. You see it?
And you caramelize the onions, which is fantastic.
Everything's good.
Is there
Everything's
corn
right.
in there or no corn?
No corn. No corn in here. No.
And this is just people's choice. This is not
This
for
is
judging.
people's choice. No, this is just people's choice. Something we threw together. Wanted to throw it together for the people, by the people.
All right.
See what's up,
All right,
man.
thanks, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're gonna love it. You gotta come back to both.
It's the perfect blend of spices. It's not too hot, and you can really taste the cumin in here, which I like. And they're using kidney beans. The other one had, I think they had the black beans. It's very, very good. And caramelized onions. Real good. I get it confused. I got my own spoon. All right, this is the home style, which is the one with the beef and the beans in it. Oh. This is really good. Perfectly spiced. Again, you can taste the cumin in it. I think they have the smoked paprika. You can taste that in it too. It's really good. Thank you very much. I'll go over here and try it. We got the competition verde is what I wanted. Great. All right. Yeah. You can really taste the chili in these things, the green chili. And the pork is done perfectly. It's a totally different taste than your regular chili. It's more of a salsa type taste. Very good. And this is, again, sorry, what is this? Veggie. Okay, thank you. All right, so this is the veggie. This is the one that we were at, and it looks like there's meat in here, but there is no meat in here. That is good. They have the corn, they have the garbanzo beans, they have the chickpeas. Whoop! And I forget what they said they put in here, but it tastes exactly like there's meat in here, but there is no meat. Yeah, this is by far, it's my favorite. Okay, right now we're here in the judges' corner, and we're gonna get some feedback from the guys who actually do the tasting. The first question everybody has is, what criteria do you use for each of the categories?
There's a lot to look at, but number one above all is flavor. Every flavor trumps everything. Texture, meat. If the flavor is good, if the flavor is the best, it's going to be a winning chili. Yeah, and on a day to day, you're tasting a whole bunch of them. How do you get that cleanse the palate so you're ready for the next one? So after every bite, after every different chili, there's a tortilla and sour cream, which can get some of the spices out, and it just becomes a process of elimination. There's a lot of good chilies, and it's really just where are the mistakes to figure out which one's the best. And this is going over to you. This is what number for you?
This is my third year doing the chili contest as a judge.
How did you get here? Do you have to be invited? Do you have to do a whole lot of these things?
I was invited. I'm a foodie in general, so I like to say that I have a seasoned palate. John Paul is a good friend and a mentor in the food game of mine, and that's how I got introduced to the contest.
Now, I know you guys can't say this. You have to be unbiased, but is there any one category that's you guys lean toward? Like if you're on your personal time, would you be more of a red person, a verde, or maybe you can't say?
On my personal time, I would say I'm a red man, but for the competition, home style is always my favorite because there's the opportunity to get creative.
And for you?
At home, I like home style, and for the competition, I enjoy verde. It's something that I'm not very good at making out.
Okay. Is there anything that you want to offer that I haven't asked? Because I don't know what goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah, so a lot goes on behind the scenes. The competitors come from all over the country. They put a lot of heart, a lot of effort, a lot of work into their craft, which is apparent in every bite. So it's a lot of responsibility for us, because we know they work super hard to put this chili in front of us. So we take it very, very seriously and love getting to be a part of it.
All right, guys, thanks for having us here. Thanks for answering the questions and giving us the time.
Awesome.
Thank you, guys. All right, this is the table where it all happens. Either the chilies, they present their chilies, and they're all different types, I believe. I wouldn't know the difference because I can't tell. Maybe these are the verde. But they go around, they judge this, and they have the sour cream, and they have water. Looks good. All right, Scott and Heather, thank you for having us here. This is amazing. Well, first of all, I don't know how you coordinate this. The logistics must be crazy. But what I wanted to do is, if you guys would agree, is come back to the studio at some point, maybe in a couple weeks, and we'll talk about this a little more. Would you be willing to do that?
Absolutely.
That sounds great. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, guys, very much for having us.
Thanks.
All right, let's go back to the studio.
Welcome. We are back in the studio from the Palm Coast Chili Cook-Off at European Village, which was sponsored by the International Chili Society. It was a day of belly buster chili tasting and live music. It's fabulous. And also, for an added bonus, we have two people who put together the event, and they're going to give us an insight into what goes into putting this together and what goes on in the background. There's two people here. One's name is Scott. The other one is Heather. In no particular order, I'd like to ask Scott to give just a brief introduction of yourself, preferably a major credit card and driver's license. And did you have a title, and what was your role?
Well, I am actually the president of the European Village Commercial Association, and I own the Cork and Pint. Heather really put everything together. We have a great venue, and she came to us with a terrific idea. Gosh, I don't know how many years now.
8 years
8 years ago, and it's just taken off since then. But the 99% of the credit goes to Heather.
Oh, stop it.
we provide a really cool venue of restaurants, bars, and shops. If you haven't been to the European Village, it's a triangle that faces inward with a stage in the middle, and it's perfect for events. So this is such a cool event because, and I know we'll get into it, but the contestants, they cook chili in front of the judges, starting at 7 a.m. and it just goes from there.
This was over a weekend. It was a Saturday and
Yep,
Sunday.
it's Saturday and Sunday. It starts on Saturday. Actually starts Friday night. We have a kind of a meet everybody and hang out and have a couple of cocktails and
Pizza.
Before we get started, I wanted maybe Heather can take this one. I just wanted to introduce what the ICS is, International Chili Society, and what their role in this is.
The International Chili Society is a group of approximately 5,000 cooks all over the United States. They host different chili competitions on the weekends. Like you said, some are one day. This is a 2-day event. So if these cooks are traveling from Texas, they have 8 chances to win. Winning means they go to the World Championship, I believe in Las Vegas this year. But this like a chili family. They've been doing this. The Larry Welticall, who's been to the world 23 times, he's been cooking since 1986. It's like every weekend he gets to go and hang out with his friends, and now called family.
When I was walking around, I met people that were from Texas, from Alabama. They're from all over the country. They had come down here. Are there any usuals? I mean, how many times has this been at the European Village, first off?
This is the 8th year. 7th. We had 2 in 1 year, so this is actually the 8th time we've had
And
it
how
here.
did originally, was it here in Florida before the European Village or not?
Yeah, the International Chili Society has been around for 55 years. It was started by Carol Shelby, who, if you're familiar
Like
with...
Ford Shelby? Okay.
Oh, wow.
They were having a car show or out hunting or something, and one of them said, "I bet my chili is better than your chili." And then they said, "No, I don't think so." And they ended up forming the International Chili Society, so they'd go to different towns and compete. Now, when we go to the world, you've got the Shelby cars all lined up. It was at Myrtle Beach the last 3 years, and they've got Shelby cars lined up and down A1A, and so it's a big deal for them too.
Okay, so it's been around for, like you said, 55 years. And how did it get to the European Village? Did somebody say, "Hey, we got a great venue for you guys"?
Yeah, again, it was Larry that's been cooking since 1986. Someone had gone to a chili cook-off, met Larry, and then mentioned, "Why don't we try to host one? And where's a good location?" So it brought up European Village because he enjoyed going to Cork and Pint, and it was just a perfect fit.
Did you own it at the time?
Yep.
Okay. And was it as big as it was when I was there?
We had 45 cooks the first year.
First year was...
And how many was it this year?
37. And
So it's bigger.
Yeah, well, it's floating. We had a lot of people that got out sick, and the economy wasn't that great this year. But
And so back to the International Chili Society. This is just one event. It was over a weekend, but all through the year of 2024, there are many events in many different states, and that all the winners of that will make their way to a final. And you mentioned the place, Las Vegas, maybe in September of 2025, and they'll have the final cook-off, and somebody will be the big winner. That's how that works.
There's about 300 cooks that go to that. So when you get to the final table, you've got to have 90 judges to sample the chili and go round and round. Yeah.
Now, the word international, are people coming from outside the country as well?
I don't know that they do.
Okay.
But it just works.
International sounds
Now,
better.
do you guys, are you guys members of the International Chili Society?
I am as a company, but it's basically each individual that cooks, they pay a fee of a certain fee to the International Chili Society to be able to enter all these competitions. So when our company approaches to do this, we pay a fee to be able to be sanctioned by the International Chili Society. They provide our cups and banners and support on their social media
So
platform.
technically, I could call you a chili head, but you're not a chili head.
I make chili every
He's
year.
a chili head.
But you have to be a member of the society.
So,
to be chili head.
yeah. So there's also, I guess, I don't know if Heather set this up, but there's a People's Choice Award where all the restaurants and anybody in town actually that wants to, and it'd be great if we get more people to come.
Yeah.
So we make chili, and we don't compete against. We're able to make it the day before.
Yeah.
We don't have to make it in front of the judges, that's one of the criteria. And so we make all the restaurants typically at the European Village and some local people. I think some of the firefighters, they make chili, and we also so there's two contests going on at once, basically. Correct?
Yeah, but I don't mean to interrupt you, but the People's Choice, they're not vying to go to Las Vegas.
No, they're vying to get a little plaque for their wall.
Yep.
Congratulations, Scott. We won the first year.
Yep.
Yeah.
But and also I noticed about those guys, these are some of the people that are doing the People's Choice, like you said, are the businesses that are currently there just cooking a pot of chili and
Right.
putting it out there. Like, I don't want to, can I plug somebody?
Yeah,
Sure.
Hey, I forget the name of the place that makes the
Red
No, the Chicago style.
Yeah.
Red Clover.
Red Clover.
Red Clover. I don't know where they got the rest. I mean, they're not chili people.
No.
And they came up with a fantastic chili.
And they won first place.
Oh, they
in
did
People's
win.
Choice
Oh my
on
God.
Saturday.
Okay, the fact that I remember them probably.
It wasn't as good as the Cork and Pints, but I think that they cheated. I'm just joking. It was delicious. I tried their chili. They've got some great chefs over there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, there's no
Frankie.
way you could have won because that would be bias all over the place.
Well, he does win.
I did win.
Really? When
The first year.
First year.
He's still vying to get back in the seat.
Okay, all right. All right. So, and then also you mentioned something that was interesting. You mentioned the referees. That's what judges. I'm sorry. Where do they come from, and do they have to be certified in some way?
Yeah, they have to be sanctioned through the International Chili Society, and I'm very grateful that the people that we have, we need a minimum of 10, have been with us since day one. They look forward to it every year. They're not going to get booted off. You can't just walk in off the street and say, I want to be a judge for the chili cook-off. And it's pretty particular. There's 6 different categories that they have to really look at: the texture, the color, the aroma, the flavor, and then the heat. And they score each chili, and then they just go to the next one, and they get points. And the higher the points, the closer you get to win.
Are these guys required to travel, or are they all kind of from the Palm Coast area?
Most of them are from here. I've got 4 that came from Tampa, which is our head scorekeeper and head judge. But yeah, like I had a chili cook-off last weekend in St. Augustine, and weekend before at St. John's, and some of our judges traveled up there to judge those cook-offs.
The same guys that were in this one. Now, so for the people who aren't watching, there were 4 main types of chili. There was the family style. There was the veggie. What were the other 2?
Verde.
Verde, the green, and
Yeah.
then the red, which means no beans. That's good.
Now, I had never tried a verde before, but that was really good. I wasn't expecting anything near what I tasted.
Yeah.
Also, the that's what I wanted to actually mention. The competitors, do they get to pick where they are in? Because, as you mentioned, the European Village is kind of a triangle, and I don't know if there's any advantage of your placement in there. Do they get to pick where they are in there, or is that something that falls to you?
We let them pick when they come in on Thursday or Friday. A lot of them are staying at European Village. I think there was like 10 units that were rented out for the cooks, so it's easy for them to have a kitchen upstairs, be able to walk down and do their cooking down there. But they know where they want to be. I mean, a lot of these cooks have been here for 7-8 years, and they want to be in front of Mezzaluna. Larry wants to be in front of Cork and Pint. Our group from Cincinnati, they like being on the other end. And they're all family, so they all work together, and they bundle up, and yeah.
You know what I noticed? I didn't see a whole lot of cords around. How do they get their power to cook?
It has a stove. What is that
Propane.
called?
Propane.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so when you're organizing this, have you organized this for all 8 years that it's been here?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
She started it.
Did you? Was one of the rules is don't?
Propane. Well, they know. I mean, they've been cooking for 20, 30 years. They know what the rules are. So if we have any new people come in, I'll send them over to Larry, and he'll train them or mentor them to.
Do they have to supply their own tents and their own cooking, their own
Yeah.
tables, everything?
They supply everything. Some of these people, if they're traveling, like Gail, one of the ladies that comes from Cincinnati, she's a world champion. She can't bring tents and stuff. So I actually have an event company. So I'll provide tents, tables, and chairs for the people. I'd rather have them come here and provide that than not come because they can't carry all their equipment.
And the majority of them bring their own stuff?
90% do.
Okay. And then also, just to put it in there because I don't think we covered it, there is a prize money thing once they get to Las Vegas in September. Somebody wins some amount of money.
The total purse is about $25,000, and that gets separated between the 4 different categories. I know red is a total of $15,000
Wow.
for first place. I know, need to make some chili.
Yeah.
That's a lot of chili. Now, for you've been organizing this, and this. We haven't covered this. This is. I have to imagine putting this together with 30 or 40 different vendors. It's got to take weeks to months prior to it even happening.
Yeah.
Can you give us a little soundbite into how it starts, how big of a pain in the ass it is, and do you ever want to do it again?
Yeah, I'll continue to do it to support these people. Like I said, they're now like my family. But I go on, probably I need to do it now or the next month, is just create the event within the International Chili Society website. And then if you go to that page, you pull up, find a cook-off, and it has a whole United States. And then you can pick what area you want to go to. And then that'll get it on the radar for other cooks. They start to fill it out. I have my sheet, and I pretty much use the same sheet and just drag them over to the next year. Very fortunate I've been able to work with Lee and Laura that on the building in the corner for us to do our judging. But then throughout the year, I do promotions and go to other cook-offs and bring flyers for ours. So I kind of double dip. I go to the World Championship and invite all of them to come back or to come, which we picked up some new cooks this year from that.
So if somebody comes to this cook-off, a chef, are they allowed to go to another state cook-off at a later date?
Yeah. You can. Yeah, Larry goes to probably 20 cook-offs a year.
So if you go to another cook-off before this one here, and you hand out flyers for this one, it's not like you're stealing people from there.
No, because it's not going to be on the same date. I'll make sure that we're not competing with anybody else.
Okay. And then issues with weather. Any problems with that over the years?
Just one year at the very end, it rained during the awards, but it's been cold some, but we've been really lucky. It's first weekend of December.
It was
not
beautiful
that bad.
when I was there.
Probably better to do it in. I think remember the first year we did it in August. Oh God, it was too hot.
We did one in December and then a last chance because some people didn't qualify for the world. So we said we'll do it one more time, and August is not a time to do a chili cook-off.
No, and also the December, it's not cold enough to where people walking around. You can eat your chili without getting cold in 2 minutes. It's kind of the perfect time to have it. And I'm suppose this didn't happen by chance.
Yeah, we kind of said it that way.
Yeah. Well, another thing is that when I was walking around, like you said, it's a diamond.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that is a benefit to having it at that venue, or somehow a disadvantage because there's only so many people you can fit in there. How do you guys look at that?
We can always get bigger.
Yeah.
Well, you can't expand the diamond.
Well, there's other areas. There's some corners that we could go around. There's a fountain. There's a big grass area. If we
could add another,
and we would do it on either. We could put them on both sides of the walkway. I mean, we could fit 70, 80 if we wanted to.
We opened the farmers market 10 years ago. We had 75 vendors.
75 vendors
every Sunday.
So we can fit a lot if we have to.
You can even put them. Well, I don't know where the farmers market is. That inside the triangle or out by that front door?
It's inside. Then some of the produce is outside under the awning. But we could go under the bridge. We could go. It could grow.
Okay. Oh, under the bridge across the street, you mean?
Just right underneath the bridge, right there.
Oh, coming in.
Yeah. Okay, so I was noticing there was some space that you could fill up. So you could conceivably, like you said, double the size that you have Any issues with any vendors there, or they actually all love it because it brings people to the area?
They love it.
Yeah, and they like the fact. I think a lot of them are in. Some of them are not really around stores and restaurants. They're more in fields or open areas. So they kind of enjoy it because they can grab a sandwich or grab a beer or a wine or a drink.
And when we do this one, like I said, I go to a lot of different events, and I try to select the vendors that are going to be appropriate to the event. If it's hot sauce or spices or honey or bread or foods and stuff. So it's not like I try to select the right fit for the vendors.
I mean, when you pick the vendors that come there, you're picking them by what style that they're going to serve, so you don't have, let's say, an overabundance of family style. You have to have a
no.
Yeah, I'm talking about the vendors that come to sell their wares.
Yeah.
I try to make sure I don't have 17 hot sauce companies. I pick the ones that are loyal vendors to my other events.
Besides the cooks, there's vendors.
Yes.
Just to make it just makes it more enjoyable for the people walking around. They can purchase some cool things. Like
there's a guy with coffee there. There's a guy with honey.
Honey, yeah.
No, okay. And then what is the, for the people that are coming there, I don't remember. Was there a fee for me to come in there?
Yeah, you could get 5 or unlimited for $15. So you get a bracelet and you get to sample every single one of the chilies.
That's what I did.
And then you get a coin to vote for your people's choice, or you can do 10 or 6 samples for $10.
Yeah, that's what I did. I did the 15, and that was plenty. I think after trying, and I couldn't. There's 30 to, like you said, 37 or 40.
Mm-hmm.
I think I got to try half.
Yeah.
Because you can't eat that much.
Yeah, and then the more that we get in there, it goes out back to the cooks for the prize money at the end, which covers a lot of their expenses. I mean, it's a lot. Not only buying the food, but the gas, the hotel, the babysitters, the dog sitters, all that. They spend money.
And for the people that are not in the state, that's travel, that's gas, it's a whole 9 yards. And a lot of them, we got an opportunity to interview some of them. And they have a whole special apparatus from the cooking, how they cook it, and the lids. And they were thinking about, and some of them were saying, "This is how we stack it, so we could actually get all these pots in the cars." And it's a whole thing to think of when you're traveling with that much stuff. Yeah. Also, you have you have live music going on in there as well.
Yeah, we're lucky to have Cholula again, and we had Soulfire on Friday night for the kickoff party. It was great.
Do these people have to audition for you, or they just?
I picked them because they're from St. Augustine, Cholula, Chile. I thought it was kind of fitting, and then Soulfire, which is a great local band here. They're just one of my favorites. And I've been trying to get Cholula to the World Championship to play, so hopefully we'll be able to book them up there.
So if you're doing 90% of the heavy lifting for this thing every year, do you plan on continuing it? For the foreseeable future?
Yeah.
Do you have a helper? Or are you doing it all?
I have several people that, bless their hearts, get to come out and help. A lot of my friends from the Elk come and volunteer. We set them up a booth so they can promote some of the events we have within the Elks Lodge.
Any interesting stories that you want to share from your 8 years of having it at the maybe a disgruntled vendor, to anybody putting too much hot sauce?
Yes. Somebody came in and put a ghost pepper in one of the chilies that was turned in for the ICS. And when you have that in there and you're an official judge and it hits your palate, it blows your chance to sample anything else. So they had to disqualify that chili. It was not good.
Did the vendor know that was being put in their chili, or?
I'm not sure that they understood the ramifications of it.
Okay. We'll leave that alone. No names. And so, in the future, do you have any plans on changing anything?
We almost got to the point of, we were just saying we can always get bigger, but we're thinking we're getting too big for European Village, and we're looking at the Ag Museum. But I don't want to move it. Those people love it there too much. It's convenient, and
we can always fit
I can add another cook-off somewhere else, but I'm not going to take that one away. I don't want to.
So you would keep it here at the European Village and just maybe have another one somewhere later in the year at some other venue?
Yeah. Like last weekend we did one at our we did one at Guy Harvey Resort in St. Augustine. Another one we've got is the Jimmy Jam Barbecue Slam, which had 80 barbecue cooks and then the chili cook-off on the side and 100 vendors and bands and stuff. So you can have them all over.
Any stories on your end?
It always just seems that it runs very smooth. I'm sure that that Heather probably puts out the fires, so I don't even see them.
Yeah, you don't hear about them. Now, from a point of view of a vendor, you own one of the businesses there.
Yep.
Does this help in any way with foot traffic?
Sure.
Not just for that day, but any day throughout the year.
It's always a great weekend because it brings a lot more people to the European Village than normal. So we love having events, and
then once they get there, then they come back to see Scotty throughout the year.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy because the European Village has been there now for 20 years actually, and there's people that show up and they've never been there, and that live in Palm Coast, and it just blows my mind because there's not a lot of great places to go out in Palm Coast. I mean, there's shopping centers. There's no downtown. There's no main street. The European Village is pretty cool, though, because it's got little restaurants and bars in one little area. So it's, besides Flagler Beach, I think, and all of Flagler County, it's probably the second best place to go. So.
Now, I'll concur there because I've been here in Florida for 6 months, right here in Palm Coast. And the best place I found to go is the European Village. And I think it's because it's kind of like this hacienda-style venue where you have, we were talking about this before we got on mic. So let's just plug European Village is what we're talking about because we only have a couple minutes left, and I really want to do that. So the European Village, to me, is a very unique setting here in Palm Coast. It's a diamond-shaped development, and you can tell more about what's in there with respect to townhomes and everything else.
Yeah, there's 3 stories of condos above the shops. They are a bunch of Airbnbs, so it's almost hotel style, and long-term rentals. And on the first floor, there's restaurants, stores, bars. Actually, a new one is about to enter. The Turtle Shack on Flagler Beach had an unfortunate incident. They burned down a couple months ago. They're going to be opening up at the old Moonrise location, which is terrific. They're going to open up there, and I think they're going to open up until they rebuild. But we're hoping that they stay for a long time.
And how many stories?
It's 4 stories. The first story is all the restaurant stores and bars. Then there's 3 stories of condos.
And what the listeners should know is that all the fronts of the townhomes that are in all 4 stories are facing interiorly, and they all have balconies, or most have balconies. And it's very it's unique. It almost looks like a European setting where everybody's looking down onto this main triangle, and right in the center is an area where a band can be.
Correct. Center stage. Yep.
Center stage. So
we have live music every Friday and Saturday night.
And that coordination of that is you as well.
It's a joint effort with Scotty and his girls, Beth and Katie, over at Cork and Pint.
Does the European Village have a board?
Yes.
Are you a member of the board? So anything that goes around in there with respect to the live music on the Fridays and Saturdays is a decision by the board of the European Village.
And they're nice enough that particular weekend of the year to let me help select the music.
Nice. Now, if I remember correctly, because I've only been there a couple times, there's a handful of restaurants. There's an Indian restaurant there. There's a whole bunch. There's also a place, many bars. Your bar.
Yep.
Does your bar serve food?
No, but we're going to be opening up next door. And I own the unit next door, so we're putting a kitchen in there. It's been a couple years now, but we're getting close.
And there's a place where you can...
There's a pizza place. There's a
store.
Cigar bar. Fine Italian dining, La Piazza.
There's a jewelry store, I believe.
Jewelry store. There's a Coastal Mermaid, cool clothing.
Cabinet company, cabinet company, and then a builder, developer.
Yeah.
And you said right around 2008, it kind of went down. I mean, it was a ghost town after the housing crisis.
Correct.
And it's just been building up since.
Yes.
Are all those units now, even in the commercial, is everything owned now?
Yes. Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, I wanted to wrap up with that. I wanted to plug European Village a little bit because it is a great venue and a unique space. And also I want to thank you guys for coming on. It's a short spot, but we were already there walking around talking to you guys. And you were very pleasant to us and accommodating, letting us go on the roof, which I wouldn't go out there.
You wouldn't go out there.
I'm terrified of heights. And you guys actually came in here to Saturday morning and you agreed to come here and talk about this. So I wanted to thank you for being so patient and allowing us to do that, Scott and Heather.
Well, thank you. We're excited to be able to share this with all the people that have come to the cook-off and help us grow even bigger and better next year.
Yeah, I will be there next year.
We might let you judge, or you can.
No.
People's choice.
I'm afraid of what you just said. Somebody spiking the food, and I can't taste anything for the day.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
That won't happen again.
Promise.
Okay. Right now, this is the end of the podcast. Like I said, I wanted to thank Scott and Heather. If you like this spot, please like and subscribe. Thank you.